Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are indicted in a federal gambling investigation. Wait, what? It's one of those picture-perfect Arizona mornings. Like what we endure the summers for. The sky is clear. Everything feels just right. Weather's nice. And I grab my keys and I head to work. And I'm in a good mood because the NBA season is finally back. And honestly, it's the best time of the year when you have the NBA season, you got college football. And I get in the car and I start it, put on the radio. It's ESPN, and just me and the hum of the road and that familiar sports chatter. And then I hear the headline: Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are indicted in a federal gambling investigation. And I literally just say out loud, wait, what? Like, Chauncey Billups, he's Mr. Big Shot. Rozier, flashy scorer, massive contract. They start explaining on ESPN: insider betting, rigged poker games, millions lost among multimillionaires, and they're making choices that sound insane. But as the story keeps going, I realize that this isn't about sports. This is about money behavior, and it kind of ties to my job. They start breaking it down, lifestyle creep, poor discipline, lack of financial education, which is huge. And then one of the hosts says something that stops me. It's not about how much money they made. It's about how much they managed. And I think that's it. That's the story, because it's not just these guys. There's a lot of Americans that think that if you make a certain amount, you're safe, you're good. And I've seen it. People who look great on paper, like multi-six-figure income, nice home, solid careers, but honestly, they're one bad month away from panic. And they got this lifestyle, but there's no margin. And it's not greed. It's just like this drift of built-in boundaries around money. And it doesn't start with, I guess it starts with one bad decision. It slowly becomes a leak, a subscription here, a credit card you'll pay off later. And pretty soon they start to see these debts pile higher and higher and higher and starting to worry what's going on. And I pull into the parking lot and I just sit for a second. The radio's still on and I'm not really hearing it anymore, because this story about Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, it's not about them. It's about us. It's about Americans. It's about people who I help. It's about how easy it is to lose track of the math while keeping up with life. And I think about my clients, the ones who call and say, hey, Jordan, we make good money, but it feels like we're treading water. And a lot of these clients, these people, they're not reckless. They're responsible. They're parents. They're professionals. They bought their home at the right time. They've got a golden 2 or 3% interest rate from 2020 to 2021. They did everything right, but somehow the money still feels tight. And that's the quiet truth most Americans don't say out loud, is the house is fine, the loan is fine. It's the spending that's got them stuck. And a lot of times it's the credit cards, which have massive interest rates compared to any other type of debt you take on. And I tell them, we don't have to touch your mortgage. You earn that low rate, keep it. But what we can do is build a strategy around it to free up some cash flow, consolidate smartly, restructure debt without blowing up your plan. Because sometimes freedom isn't about refinancing, it's about discipline and design. And honestly, that drive to work has stuck with me all week, because I can't stop thinking about the one question is, how does a millionaire end up broke? The same way anyone else ends up broke. And the more I think about it, it just gets clearer and clearer that we need to have control over our finances. We need to have discipline. We need to have structure. And sometimes we need coaching. And that's what keeps a player in the league, and it's what keeps a homeowner financially strong too. You can't out-earn poor spending habits. You can't out-save bad discipline. You can build wealth in chaos, but if you don't build in guardrails, the income, honestly, it doesn't matter how much you make. And so by the time I walk into the office, I already know this has to be the next message that I share, because their story of these two NBA players isn't unique. It's not about a scandal. It's about poor spending habits that has them desperate and wanting to make a change. And so if you are in a situation where you feel things are too tight, please, if you're watching this right now and you're feeling the squeeze, the credit cards, the tight budget, the constant next month will be better, you're not broken. You're just missing some structure, and we can help fix that. You don't need to refinance again your beautiful low interest rate if you don't want to. You don't need to sell your home. You just need a plan, and you might need an expert to help walk you through that. A system to patch the pocket, to free up breathing room, to get you back in control, because your home should be a safe place and not the source of your stress. The people who win financially aren't always the ones who earn the most. They're the ones with discipline, the ones who tell their money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So if you need help, give me a call.